Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Just let me take this music off. Well, good morning and welcome back to the trading session, to another trading session. I mean, it's Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. So Wednesday, the first day of October as well, and seems like we will have a government shutdown on the United States as well. So that's a new thing for me, honestly, in terms of trading. I don't know what will be the impact. I just know that we will not have NFP probably on Friday. But yeah, regardless of all that noise, I will try to engage with the markets and try to do anything today. So yesterday yesterday was a pretty mess, honestly, especially in between the New York PM AM session, as you can see. So nothing to work with, but the PM session was pretty nice, honestly. As soon as we hit 130, it just ran to the upside. And yeah, we hit the top of this 4-hour fair value gap, the bearish one, and then we started to move lower. Asia kind of moved a little bit lower, but then we had the displacement and the manipulation from London, which is typical in these markets. So right now, looking into it, I'm leaning into a bullish bias, honestly. So this is some sort of a accumulation, as you can see here. Accumulation, manipulation inside of London, and what I'm waiting for is the distribution higher, eventually into Asia highs, but expecting more upside eventually to previous day high as well. So what I'm looking here is some sort of A+ setups on the long side. So let's see if we will have some. Price just, damn, we just opened and price just displaced to the upside pretty heavily, as you can see here. So 9:30 open, we are right slightly above midnight open here with the 9:30 open. So this was a nice displacement here. We have the N walk, and we have as well the 4-hour fair value gap here as well, the bearish one. We already tapped into it. So let's see if somehow price can eventually support here and head higher, or if we will just keep straight up without giving any type of retrace. So looking into NQ, just let me put these things together here. So yeah, looking into it, NQ, it kind of took out these previous the previous low here. So in between NQ and ES, we have some sort of an SMT here right away, right at the open, followed by displacement. We also have the 931 fair value gap, which is the first presented fair value gap here. And let me take a look as well at the regular trading hours. So we form some sort of a lower opening range gap. Right now we are closing it aggressively. But honestly, the only sell side liquidity that we took here was this one on the regular trading hour session. There's still some round around here. Just let me take a look at Nasdaq. Let me take this off here. Yeah, but Nasdaq it made a clean sell side liquidity purge here. We just left these ones here behind, but if we are bullish, I presume there's no need for NQ to go lower. Let me just check what Dow is doing. Yeah, Dow is heading to the upside as well. It took some sort of sell side liquidity as well. It came for equilibrium. So I believe there's no need for price to come lower. But yeah, that's what we will figure out in the next couple of minutes. As you can see here, there's a lot of stuff here. This is just an inverted fair value gap on the 1 hour. This one, where price supported inside of London, is the 1 hour fair value gap that I've been talking about these last couple of days. And right now, price is starting to get some support here right at the end log. So let's see how it will behave. We still have London Asia highs to take out. Let me just take a look at what NQ is doing right now. And let me see where the Asia highs are. So yeah, NQ almost took them out already. Yeah, NQ already took them out, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So 8, yeah. So let's wait a bit. We have some news drivers as well. Right at let me see, 9:45 and 10. So might as well wait for it just to see how price will behave. So let me take a look at the chat. What up, guys? Audience, TMs, how you guys doing today? So yeah, I'm expecting bullish price action. I guess London manipulated quite heavily. So I believe we will head to the upside. Eventually, previous day high. It might be a good target. But let's see. At this point, I would like to see some sort of retracement inside the fair value gap, the first presented fair value gap. I don't know if price will give us what we want, but yeah, that would be the ideal scenario. It can be that price will just head higher and there's no opportunity for us to engage with price action. I really don't like to open some sort of a position as soon as the market opens. I like to give it some time. So if nothing presents itself until 10 a.m., we'll probably wait a bit more. I'm curious to see how price will eventually behave as soon as we take out Asia highs here on ES. And I might change my bias if I start to see a lot of strength to the downside. But first, I would like to see Asia highs being target and purged as well. So only if that happens and we start to go to the downside, eventually rejecting this midpoint once again, and eventually inverting the first presented fair value gap, then I would eventually change my bias, because at this point we have a lot of liquidity here as well. We have a lot of liquidity on these London lows. But yeah, my main bias is price heading to the upside towards previous day high. I think that's the easiest drawn liquidity here. Asia high is already taken, so quite a quick move to the upside. Only green candles, so there's no entry for us. ES definitely pushing price higher. NQ a bit shy here. So the low hanging fruit, which was Asia high, is met. Now let's see what price really wants to do, because at this point this could be some sort of accumulation. All this range here, this could be some sort of a manipulation inside London Asia highs, and then we displace lower. This can also be some sort of a plan, since I'm starting to feel that NQ is kind of slow, kind of weak. But YM already, I think YM already took previous day high. So yeah, YM definitely the strongest one, taking out previous day high as already. So let's just see. I don't like to engage in moves like this, because usually they are some sort of a manipulation type of moves. But yeah. Yeah, I just noticed it. We closed it here. NQ definitely the weakest pair today. YM is the strongest. I guess YM already took previous day high as well. So I got some mixed feelings right now. I was bullish until Asia high, possibly to previous day high, but Asia high was definitely the low hanging fruit here for me. So it can be possible that we might reverse inside the 950 macro. This is a plausible scenario. I will be, I will take it into, I'm sorry, I'm just, oh, okay. Yeah, I will take that as a possibility, but I'm not sure if it will happen. But for me, a move straight to the upside, like this, uh, yeah, I always tend to be suspicious about moves like this. And if YM starts to slow down and eventually not holding these PD arrays, then we might get some sort of a reversal. But let's see. At this point, we will have 9:45 news, which is right now. So this is not a red folder news. We will have another orange folder at 10. So might as well wait for it. But as you can see, NQ stalled a bit. It just gave us an impulse at 9:31 to the upside, and then it kind of stopped. Let me just check here. One more thing here on ES. So the gap is closed. Let's see. Let me just check what YM is doing. See, we are starting to invert. So the strongest pair is weakening here a little bit. We are starting to invert bullish PD arrays here. But let's give it some more time. Yeah. Yeah, we are approaching the macro. Price is retesting the NWOG right now. Asia highs have been taken. So in between YM and ES, there's a huge SMT, huge SMT in between YM and NQ as well. Let's see if we will lose the NWOG or if this is just a retest to go higher. Let me just check YM once again. ES. There we go. Displacement here. So it seems like the inversion at 950 is happening. So my feelings about this rally to the upside as soon as we opened, yeah, this was kind of suspicious for me, and it turned out that, yeah, was some sort of a manipulation here, because what I can see here is some sort of accumulation, manipulation to the upside, and we will probably distribute down. Nice displacement here. Well, yes, not giving us any chance to interact with anything, honestly. Just a straight move down. Now I would like to see if these opens, which are stacked to each other, will give us some sort of resistance. And let's see if price will eventually move down, because at this point I would like to see these regular trading hour session sell side liquidity being attacked, or this can be the sell side liquidity as well that price is targeting right now. So this one right here, this low, the low from the opening. Let's just see if this is enough, or if price will just move lower. I like how we closed. I mean, I like how price didn't already reached for the midpoint. Not this one, but this one right here. Mm. Minus 2.5 standard deviation right at the sell side here. So there's a lot of confluence. But we still have 8 minutes before news. So we might have to wait for it. What's up, Francisco? Did you cut the short? Once again, it was a straight move to the downside here on ES. Just like we already talked. Yeah, I would like to see something like this at this point. The problem is we are here above the open, 9:30 open, midnight open, 8:30 open, and I really don't like to short in these types of conditions. We also have event horizon, which can act as support on price. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, it was very, very quick, honestly. I'm just watching it now. Yeah, that was very quick. But you did very well. I can see a breaker on the regular trading hour. Yeah, the breaker on ES is not that clean. But let me just check NQ. Yeah, I can see. I can see that. Well, you did great. You really did great. Yeah, that I was talking about it. I was talking about YM taking out previous day high and then showing some signs of weakness, inverting bullish PD arrays. I talked about it, and yeah, we were facing some SMTs in between YM, ES, and NQ as well. So but at this point, I think we will. I don't know. I would like to see price coming a little bit lower, but now I'm kind of intrigued about what will happen because um, we took some sell side liquidity on a regular trading hour session here on ES. I don't know if that's enough, but yeah. But lately, things uh, that wasn't a breaker. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm checking it now. Okay, I see what you mean. Well, once again, you did great, bro. Yeah, now looking into it, I also had it on ES. You're right. This one right here. So you basically took the retest on this breaker. Good job. Really good job. Really good job. So at this point, I will wait 3 minutes more because we will have 10 a.m. news. I don't believe that it will move a lot, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, I was watching it. on YM as well. You're right. I just didn't act accordingly, honestly. So right now, rejection at the end walk. Let's see if we will have some sort of continuation of the downside here. 1 minute for the news driver to hit. It seems like it. Yeah, NQ. The weakest for me is NQ. Yeah, at this point we are supporting here. That's why I did not feel comfortable about shorting here. Usually the opens and event horizon act as support or resistance, and yeah, they're doing their job. So so the news driver moved a bit, 11 handles. A lot of relative equal lows here, but not on NQ. I mean NQ as well. No, I don't know. I don't know what I did here. Yeah, some sort of an SMT here on NQ. Also far, prices stuck inside the first presented fair value gap. Trying to reclaim this bullish fair value gap here. Maybe for a continuation to the upside. Since we have some sort of an SMT here with NQ. But let's see. Yeah, seems like yes just took this sell side liquidity, and probably it was enough for price to keep going higher. But at this point, I would like to see price coming above the unwalk, because buying below it, it's always a bit tricky. NQ is also driving to its relative equal highs here that were left behind. Yeah, but congrats, Mrs. You did very well. You were pretty quick with your mental judgment and with your actions. I guess I have to train it. Because I was watching it and I was anticipating a drive lower here, but yeah, I didn't take any action. So price kind of stopped after the 10 a.m. news, and so far the macro is referring to the move to the upside here, I believe. Let me just check YM. Well, on the 15 minutes, price action is once again looking pretty nasty. Just like yesterday's price action on the New York AM session. Back and forth, back and forth. I'm just trying to get rid of this here. I don't know what I did here because I have some small charts, some small charts here just to spot S&Ts. And I usually tend to have um, NQ and ES in different, in different charts, but I don't know what I did. I have both in the same chart. So it's kind of confusing for me right now. I don't know how to deactivate it and to isolate those charts because at some point they will stack into each other, and I'm trying to figure out how to separate them into different charts. I really don't know how I did this. So move. It's weird. We'll have to work on that later, probably. So yeah, price kind of stopped here. So NQ is almost reaching for those relative equal highs. Curious to see what it will do as soon as it hits those relative equal highs. Oops. I will probably have to close the window because of the noise. I think it's better now. So just let me see what's happening here on the 2 minutes. Asia high is taken. On the 3 minutes as well. On the 5. Well, don't tell me that this was the only opportunity that we had for the whole session. Because if that's so, damn, I really need to be quicker next time. Is ICT still, just let me check. Is he still live streaming? I think he was live streaming, tape reading. Yeah, he ended 2 minutes ago. I will probably watch that later. But I've learned a lot with those tape reading sessions that ICT um used to have. I don't. I'm not sure if it was. I think it was in 2023. I've learned a lot with those tape reading sessions. Um, of course, there's always a section of that tape reading which is just a rant. But generally speaking, I've learned a lot because he really knows how to read price. The way he reads price, he really makes things look easy when nothing in trading is easy. 2024, yeah, it might probably. I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it, but time flies. I'm not sure. Yeah, 2023 was the recorded mentorship, which I I, um, I didn't watch the full mentorship. I just watched some of those videos, but but the live price action read was incredible. I really learned a lot from it. Honestly, 2024, I was there every day with him. Yeah. So you really like those episodes as well, right? Yeah, I've learned a lot from it. Damn. I thought it was 2023. Yeah, I didn't watch it from from head to toe. I just watched some of his episodes. Um, But yeah, maybe I will give it a try later. I don't know. Yeah, the 2024 was insane. I remember he posting, I don't know, 4 hour videos or 3 hour videos or whatever. It was damn crazy. Who has the time to really dig into it and take notes, and it was too long for me. Yeah, I was watching the charts and watching the lives um, at the same time, and yeah, it really opened my eyes for a bunch of stuff, honestly. So in the meantime, NQ is just heading straight to the upside. It took those relative equal highs. Yeah, I believe the job on the sell side is probably done here, but I don't really like how price is just slowing down here, giving us 2, 3 candles to the upside. I really don't like how we are trading right now. Let me just check once again YM. Yeah, reaching once again for the previous day high. There we go. Some speed right now. So yeah, this was probably the best entry after the sell-off, somewhere around here. But since price was followed by this slow-paced action, it's kind of a no to me. On NQ, first previous week's high, and then previous day high, and then previous week's high. Yeah, I believe so as well. I mean, if you look at into yes, the top of yes is way too clean. It's just like a straight line. So I believe we will reach it sooner or later. So far, my bias is correct. The biases that I presented and the first minutes of the stream is correct. So I was anticipating a accumulation, manipulation, and then a distribution to the upside, with a possibility to change my bias if we had some strong downside below the first presented fair value gap. It kind of manipulated in that way, and I didn't take any shorts here because I was expecting midnight open, 8:30 open, and 9:30 open to hold price here, and then we kind of did this creep up movement, which I personally really don't like. But now we are at the midpoint of this 4-hour fair value gap. We took out these relative equal highs on NQ. We are almost reaching for previous day high on NQ as well. We are, let me just check here. Yeah, we are about 50 handles, if I'm not wrong. 50 handles away from it. This will probably turn into a macro to macro movement. So I presume this movement will end at 1050. And then probably at 1050, we will have some sort of a retrace. It would be nice to see price coming and reaching for previous day high in between 1050 to 1110. And then reaching lower, probably to equilibrium of this bullish leg. So all of this here is the manipulation or the Judas swing from today's price action. And if we project that leg to the upside, yeah, I know that's a stretch projection, but I don't know. We can be a little bit more humble, I think, and try to project this one, which makes a little bit more sense here, since 2.5 standard deviation stands for previous week's high. I think this one makes a little bit more sense. And if you look into this projection, it kind of is being respected here. Next pit stop might be -1. So yeah, I just don't like how price is just creeping up slowly. So NQ is almost reaching for previous day high. Turns out it delivered way better than ES. But still, YM is the strongest, I believe. Yeah, previous day high was reached. So price just made a pit stop here at the midpoint of the 4-hour fair value gap. And he really did a good run here for the last couple of minutes. If you look into the 15-minute, seems like it's forming some sort of a breakaway gap. I don't know if it will act as a breakaway gap or not, but I'm expecting some sort of a retrace, probably at 11 or inside of this macro. But I would like to see price coming to previous day high just to make that retrace. Let me just check here how far. Yeah, 14 handles is not that big of a move, but it was a good move. Oh yeah, I was watching those crypto coins, and yeah, I believe Bitcoin moved about. I don't know. I made the calculations, but I'm not sure about it. Just let me watch once again. I think Bitcoin moved about 5% since we talked about it, and Solana moved about 10% already since we talked about it. Great moves. Good moves. Let me just watch it once again. Yeah. Yeah, those bearish PD arrays were inverted. Well, I guess there's only one direction right now. So yeah, Solana is still below that daily fair value gap. But I believe that if Bitcoin just still moves higher, I believe Solana will just follow its pace. Same goes for probably Ethereum. I don't know. We have a trend line liquidity above that bearish fair value gap on the daily. And on the 4-hour, you can see that as well. The trend line liquidity above that bearish fair value gap. And this to me, if you zoom out the 1 hour, the 4-hour, this to me seems like a large accumulation, manipulation, and eventually distribution. And the accumulation starting starting around the 12th of August. Then we started to manipulate on the 21st of September. Manipulations ended at the 25th, and now we will probably distribute higher. Yeah, it was a good trap here. It was really good trap, but this is a typical AMD setup here on the higher time frames. So let me take a look at the VIX. So you're talking about, look at the VIX at a yearly opener horizontal line. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's curious to see. Yeah, the rejection was, yeah, it was perfect, honestly. I'm just watching it here on TradingView. Just let me. Damn, I don't know if you can hear the noise, but I'm sorry about it. You probably can. I'm really sorry about it. I can't do anything about it. Construction is going heavy here on innovative. Construction everywhere. Yeah, some say that that's just coincidence, right? But it definitely isn't. Yeah, I'm glad it's not too loud because it is very loud here, honestly, even with the windows um, closed. I mean, in the last couple of 2 years, I believe, we have not been free of construction near us. So construction has been with us for the last couple. If I can remember, I believe the last couple of 4 or 5 years. I don't know. There's always construction here. There's a lot of old houses that are being requalified, so and transformed into some Airbnbs and hostels. That's one of the negative perks of living in a city. So meanwhile, price is just moving to the upside. So as anticipated, this will probably be a macro to macro move. Those who longed around here did a good job. And then Q just missed previous day high for about, let me just check here, the high 24,913. Yeah, one tick. Was it one tick, one handle? Not even one handle. Some sort of a rejection here at the midpoint of this 4-hour fair value gap. Yeah, I would like to believe that it's too soon for a major retrace, but let's see. Probably just a move to take out these lows. Or eventually a move lower to this bullish fair value gap here. Yeah, I believe price will continue to the upside here, but the stop right at the midpoint of the fair value gap is kind of suspicious. Was anticipating a retrace, but not that soon. Let me just take a look at YM and see what is it doing. So bullish media race kind of failed here. Relative equal lows here down below. Hmm. There's no breaker formation yet. Only the inversion here. And looking at NQ, NQ is still stuck inside the bullish fair value gap. So we might end up doing something like this, coming here eventually. But since I'm bullish, I will probably not take this because we still have some defense lines here. Yeah, I'm expecting a slight short move here. I was expecting it to happen at 10:50 or around that hour. In fact, there's 4 minutes left. But I'm not sure if I want to short this. Let me just check where equilibrium is. Yeah. So the breaker never confirmed. Not a touch here at the midpoint of the bearish fair value gap. The standard deviation is being respected so far. Let's see if we reclaim back this fair value gap or if we would respect the bearishness of it. So now rejection here at the midpoint. Meanwhile, NQ is kind of hesitant here. Yeah, and the Dow is expecting a pushback on NQ, shorting on yesterday's market close highs. Okay. So far, I like how we rejected the midpoint. We are still respecting the bearishness of the inverted fair value gap here as well. I just don't know how far this retracement can go in terms of it might come to equilibrium here. You're talking about an SMT in between ES and NQ. Yeah, we have it. We have it, but I'm not sure if it's enough for price to start the retrace. And NQ kind of fell short about yesterday's high. Yeah, ES pushing a little bit higher. Hmm. Yeah, still rejecting the midpoint, still respecting the bearishness of this inverted fair value gap here as well. I think an SMT between NQ and ES with the yesterday's high would be a nice entry for shorts. Yeah, I can relate to that, but um, let me just check the continuous contract just to see, because on the micro contract, NQ did not take yesterday's um, yesterday's high. Yeah, yeah, we need to, in my opinion, we need to move a little bit higher, but so far liquidity is being engineered here around these lows. So these might act as a drawn liquidity for some later action, probably after 11 or in between lunch. Yeah, if it does take, yeah, because I think this is too early right now. If we take out previous day high um, on NQ and somehow ES just is not able to take out that liquidity, then we will probably have a short setup targeting this and eventually heading towards this fair value gap or equilibrium. Yeah, Francisco is kind of right. That's why uh, I'm kind of afraid to take shorts because you never know when that short will end. Or you can take just a short um and take your profits at a low hanging fruit, the first low hanging fruit. So that's the main problem that I see whenever we have a bias and we try to um, figure out a setup that's opposite of our bias. Yeah, in fact, we are distributing. This is a typical AMD situation here. So accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. This was what I was expecting in the first minutes of the stream, honestly. But always keeping in mind that we could eventually take out Asia highs and move lower, targeting London lows. It ended up being the Judas swing here, but now I guess I would rather prefer to wait for a lower manipulation, something like this. Okay, price comes here, blah, 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 and then you have your manipulation leg to the downside. And there will be an inverted fair value gap here. And yeah, and probably a reclaimed one right here. And this would be eventually the long position, which is much more favorable than a short setup to the downside. It doesn't mean that you can short and you can make money shorting a distribution to the upside, but it's way trickier. Yeah, I don't think we will head to London lows at this point because we are distributing there. There's no reason for us to do a full turnaround unless something some sort of catastrophe happens. But yeah, as I said, I would rather wait for the manipulation lower, taking out all this liquidity here, which is resting here, eventually coming to equilibrium of the lag, then some sort of a fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap gets formed here, and we kind of invert it. And yeah, we took some sort of a breaker or unicorn setup around this manipulation that will probably happen. I don't know. It can be just a straight move to the upside as well. So, but I think London lows are out of out of reach right now. It's not it's not in it's not in the plan. The only way that I would consider London lows was if we stayed below midnight open, 9:30 open, 8:30 open, and event horizon. Then I would eventually consider London lows as a target and change my bias. But otherwise, we will keep grinding higher. And so far, a move from macro to macro is really happening here. So let's see for how long it can go to the upside. Yeah, classic buy day, yes. So at this point, we took out previous day high on NQ. Let's see if ES will take previous day high as well. It should take previous day high, but it's possible uh, to reach for eventually minus 1.5 and start to retrace a little bit. But even if we come lower, I still think that previous day high on ES is our main draw, and then eventually another all-time high and previous week's high, which is the same here. I think I've commented already um, earlier, probably not in this stream, but I think I've talked about it earlier. I I feel like I have some sort of a hard time to get into classic buy or classic sell days. Whenever we have these these days where price is just going one-sided. I tend to struggle a bit whenever it happens because I can eventually anticipate these days, but it's hard for me to interact with them. I don't know why. I feel like I have some sort of scar tissue from previous experiences that I don't know, that probably messes with my mind. So let's see if this move to the downside will take out this liquidity here that was formed. This should be an easy target for yes. Or if we will just support on this reclaimed fair value gap here. Let's just see. Well, in order to engage with longs to continue to previous day high, I would like to see these stops here being purged first, and then eventually a move to the upside. I don't believe it will happen inside New York AM session. It will probably happen during lunch hour because lunch hour usually tends to finish stops placed in between 10 a.m. So these are the most logical ones. So Lotus, you are shorting and break even already. Yeah, you just place an aggressive break even, right? Well, short on ES wouldn't work. Let Yes, leaving some relative equal highs here behind. Let me take a look at YM. I think YM will probably, yeah, YM is just waiting. YM is just waiting for NQ and yeah, NDS probably. It's just hanging here near previous day high. This trend line liquidity here as well. I will be watching the 15-minute fair value gap, might close a short and open a long, we will see. Yeah, at this point I would wait. I would rather wait for a purge of these lows, a purge of this trendline liquidity here as well, a move of price from this premium to probably equilibrium is probably a bit stretched, but this fair value gap is a nice support here. And if we invert some sort of bearish PD arrays down here after taking out this liquidity, or we form some sort of a breaker, yeah, that would probably activate my model and adding for previous day high and these relative equal highs here as well. But so far price is still grinding to the upside. Oh damn, this construction is driving me. It's really driving me nuts. So far is NQ is leading the way here to the downside. Yeah, and Q is forming some relative equal lows once again. Yes, just trying to push towards previous day high. Yeah, both NQ and mini. NQ hit 24, 930, 13. Yeah, ES is just accumulating here. And we are post 11 already. So 11, 16. And Q kind of following through the bearishness, but yes, it's just accumulating. Looking into the 15 minutes. Seems like in Q, I talked about a breakaway gap earlier on NQ on the 15 minute. I'm not sure if it will end up being a breakaway gap, but yeah, so far it was not retested. And Q leading the way here on the retrace. But he is not giving us any type of setup here, just accumulating, leaving some relative equal highs behind as well. And as I said earlier, I'm more interested in some long play here, waiting for a purge. of these stops and trying to get into something as soon as we displace higher. In the meantime, NQ is already down here next to these relative equal lows. So at this point, NQ already reached for all these lows. There's still this one here to take out. But he is just mumbling around here, doing nothing. What is you are shorting with one contract, right? One micro. So there's no opportunity to take any partials, right? Well, the 15 minutes fair value gap is still open on NQ. Yeah, so far, ES is just respecting the projection that we took earlier here. It drove itself straight to -1 standard deviation. Then it came back near 0.5 just for a small retrace. And now we are kind of supporting once again, or here at -1. So let's see if ES really wants to head to previous day high here. Still no entry. A lot of relative equal lows left behind here on ES, which I personally don't like. 2 hours in the stream already. It's 11. Let me check. 11:25. Yes, 11:24. So yeah, guys. I'm closing the stream soon. Once again, a break-even date so far. I guess the only opportunity that I had to go for any type of longs was here. As soon as we retraced back into the N walk and the first presented fair value gap. That to me is the most is the most logical place to place a long here. I wouldn't buy anything here with all these lows. Wouldn't be comfortable with that. So yes, heading once again, making a new high here, taking out these relative equal highs. Let's see if it will go straight to previous day high. Meanwhile, NQ did some sort of a retrace. It still left the 15-minute fair value gap untouched. So there's still a chance that we will try to tap that fair value gap, or if it still is open, we might have a breakaway gap, just like anticipated. Yeah, price getting some speed right now, heading towards previous day high. Let's see how it behaves as soon as we get into minus 1.5 standard deviation here. I just check once again YM just to see if it really is waiting. It started to slowly climb up once again. Almost reaching for previous day high. And then Q is inverting its pace as well. You've closed the position. Great. In profit, right? That's good. Yeah. That's really good. It was a good short, but yeah, like we kind of talked about it, it's not a long short. I mean, it just took the first low hanging fruit, and yeah, it kind of reversed as soon as it took the first low hanging fruit. Not my cup of tea, honestly, but it was good. It really was good. For me, that's a bit of a aggressive play. Um, so I prefer to stay on the sidelines here. In the meantime, yes, just I don't know. It's just accumulated here. Didn't take any type of liquidity. Okay, we formed some sort of an SMT, but no displacement to confirm that SMT. So kind of stayed on the sidelines, and we are now touching previous day high on ES as well. Well, I think with ES touching previous day high, I think this is a wrap here, and it's been about 2 hours and something. And I don't like to stretch it more than 2 hours, because at some point we will force something, and I would not like to force anything. But yeah, it was somehow anticipated, this distribution to the upside. I kind of got and decided when price just did this Judas swing, because I was this was my plan B. If price really stayed below these opens, I would change my bias for something bearish. And then here there's no model for me to interact with price action, so I just watched price to creep up to the upside until previous day high. At least I'm break even, honestly. But yeah, I guess I will end the stream here. Tomorrow there will be, well, tomorrow it will be Thursday. I don't know if I will have to read something about what's happening on the other side of the Atlantic. I'm not sure if there will be an FP or not. I have to check it out. If there will be an FP, I will probably not trade tomorrow. But if not, if NP was somehow cancelled for this Friday, I will probably try to take something tomorrow. So yeah, that will be the plan. So just watching it, touching previous day high. In the meantime, NQ is making another high as well. So next target is previous week's high if we don't start to retrace something here. So yeah, guys. Well, thank you for being there. It was a pleasure to be with you guys and to talk with you. More action will be available tomorrow. And yeah, great job for those who took some trades, Francisco and Lorenz. Congratulations about your trades. And yeah, hope to see you guys tomorrow at the same time. You already know, if you're not subscribed, just yeah, hit the like button and subscribe it as well. So tomorrow we will be here at the same time, 9:30, between 9:20 and 9:15, 9:20 New York local time. So yeah, stay safe, guys, and thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.